everyone, it's A-Pops and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Spooky Month. 31 days of spooky DIYs, cooking videos and much more. And for today's video, we're going to be making a spooky, scary skull mirror cake. So without further ado, let's get started. So the things you'll need to make your cake are some cake mix. I got some red velvet cake because I think a red skull would look really cool. Some chocolate icing fondant frosting. Some decorative pieces like flowers and balls. Some mirror glaze cake covering, which I haven't ever tried before, so I'm very much looking forward to using this. And lastly, your cake tin. And I got this last year for Spooky Month, but my camera broke, so I didn't really have time to use it. So I'm using it now, and it is this massive cake tin of a skull. And it's the back piece and the front piece, and I'm very excited to see how it turns out. Because the smaller ones we used for our pizza rolls turned out so well. I'm really hoping this turns out really well as well. That was a lot of wells. So anyway, let's get baking. So using a pumpkin bowl isn't mandatory, but I highly recommend it for Spooky Month. I added all the ingredients that the Betty Crocker box asked me to. So 3 eggs. 8 tablespoons of oil. Then 200 milliliters of water. Then the powder mix, which I accidentally threw everywhere, twice. And after scraping the remains off of the counter and back into the bowl, you then have to stir your mixture until all the lumps and bumps are out and you have a nice creamy, milky consistency. Then you want to really grease up your tins. You want to make sure you do this as thoroughly as possible because you don't want your mixture sticking to the pan at all, otherwise you'll just lose all that awesome detail. Then pour in your mixture and realise that you didn't have enough, so you run to Iceland quickly and buy a sponge mixture because they also ran out of red velvet. And then you fill the other side of your tin. Then you want to place your tray inside the oven and realise it doesn't stand on its own on the wire grates. So you put down a flat pan to rest it on and then cook it for 25 to 40 minutes depending on how good your oven is. Then when they're cooked, remove them from the tin. And these came out super easily, as you can see. They just slid out because of all the butter that we used to grease up our tins. I then had to separate the cakes because they had merged. And then look at the beauty that is that skull and the back of his head. Oh my gosh, they just look amazing at this point. Then you want to take a bread knife and then carve off all the excess so you have a flat surface on both the back of the head and the middle of the head. I then took some chocolate icing and iced up the bottom of his head, so the bottom of the jawline, and then tried sticking that to a plate, where I could then get the chocolate frosting and cover the inside thoroughly with about 1 centimetre of the fondant, so that I could then stick the 2 head pieces together, as you can see here. And I didn't film this, but I then trimmed away all the excess around the edges to make it look a lot more flat. And here he is, looking super cool. And then the instructions on the mirror glaze say to coat the entire cake with a thick layer of chocolate fondant, as you can see here. So using a scraper, I fully covered him from head to toe. The only bit that I left out was the teeth because I thought I'd lose a lot more detail there than anywhere else, so I left those bare. And then you take your mirror glaze, microwave it for 30-second increments until it's nice and creamy and watery. And then you want to pour it on like hot candle wax and let it drip all over that cake. And at this point, I think it looked absolutely amazing. It really did. I thought it looked really cool. Oh my god, look at that. It is just beautiful. It seriously reminds me of hot candle wax, and this has inspired me to make hot candle wax style cakes in the future. It's really cool. However, this stuff is super sticky and super hot, so be very careful when using it. started to decorate my skull with these beautiful flowers and icing leaves, and I decided that I was going to make a beautiful flower crown, as you can see here, and I thought it looked really cool at this point. It's actually sad looking back at it because of the trauma that happens very soon. So here I am decorating away, making it look absolutely gorgeous, taking my care and time, adding little silver balls around the edges as well to make that tiara kind of pop against the mirror glaze. And I think it's around here where my heart breaks into, just like the cake. Oh, this makes me so sad. I didn't even realize it fell for ages because I was looking at something else at that point. So to try and save it, I grabbed it. My hands were covered in this really hot sticky sauce. I removed the flowers and the decorations to try and save them and salvage them before they got too ruined in the mirror glaze. I then grabbed the cake and tried to stick him back together, and then propped him up against all the leftover pieces of cake that we cut off earlier. And at this point, I grabbed the plate that had the excess mirror glaze in. I chucked it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and then try and salvage my cake, I poured over the remains over my skull, but it never regained the way it looked before. It makes me so sad looking at this. But I really did try to salvage him to his former glory. So as you can see, I then took my decorations and tried decorating him again. I tried to give him the beautiful tiara that he had before, but at this point the flowers had already been covered and ruined in the glaze, and everything was slowly melting. So the balls that I'd put on had started melting, and all the decorations that I was going to put around the eyes and stuff like that, it all started dripping down the cake as well, because at this point I was rushing to try and get the cake finished before my parents got home. Oh my god, it just looks a mess, doesn't it? Wow, I don't even know why I'm showing you these shots. It just looks awful. Everything is starting to rip. Everything here is starting to drip and run away and fall apart. Oh god. Why are you still watching this? Oh. I have to admit, I'm not super happy with it. It kind of fell apart on me. I don't know if I caught it on footage either, but it kind of fell to the side, and I really liked it until it fell. And it is kind of melting away now. So, not kind of a fail on the decorating side. The skull looks really cool. I might give this another go one day, but at the moment, this stuff just isn't working. I do, however, really like the flower crown here. I think that looks super cool. It's definitely a work in progress kind of thing. I think I'll try it again one day, but I definitely recommend those tins. They are really good. They definitely get the shape out. They're just really good tins. Nothing seems to stick either. But yeah, kind of a fail. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell button. And I'll see you tomorrow for another Spooky Month video. Thanks for watching. Bye.